In this lecture, we're going to be looking at those little chemical messengers in our body called hormones. Sometimes a hormonal imbalance is the missing link. I've had people say to me, but Barbara, I'm going to bed early, I'm drinking all my water, I'm exercising every day, I'm eating a plant-based diet. They're ticking all the boxes, and then when I investigate, I find out they have a hormonal imbalance. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to begin by going through some of the symptoms of a hormonal imbalance. Then we're going to look at how the monthly cycle runs, then what throws it out, and we're going to finish by looking at what brings it back into balance. Because the body is ever trying to get a correct balance. You just need to give it the right conditions. So what about a female? Some of the symptoms of a female having a hormonal imbalance are early periods. Normal is 16 to 18, but you hardly ever hear that today. Obviously, there's always some exceptions to the rule, but on a whole, the average beginning of the menstruation traditionally was around 16. Today, we're getting young girls getting their periods at 9 years of age. If they get their periods at 9, they're starting to develop breasts at 8. That's far too young. Why would that be? Where's our why? Newton's third law of motion states that to every action there's an equal and an opposite reaction. In other words, there is always a cause. We're going to be looking at that this morning. Another symptom of a hormonal imbalance is very heavy periods, very painful periods. Also premenstrual tension. How many women and men think that's normal? I've got some good news today. It is not. And we're going to look at how that can be remedied. Also, fibroids in the uterus, cysts on the ovaries, polycystic ovarian syndrome, polyps in the uterus, cervical polyps, cervical cancers, lumps in the breasts, fibrous tissue in the breast, breast cancer, uterine cancer. These can all be symptoms of a hormonal imbalance. Also, depression can be a symptom. Thyroid problems, also heart disease. These are some of the symptoms, probably the main symptoms of someone having a hormonal imbalance, a female. What about a male? With a male, low sperm count can be a symptom. Also, inability to hold an erection, it's called PD, penile dysfunction. The current figures in Australia are 50% of men over the age of 40 are struggling with this one. Also, prostate problems. Prostate problems is a result of a hormonal imbalance. Well, again, there are other factors that come into play, as you will see, but it's one of the main causes. Too much of the female hormone can cause a man to be effeminate, and too much of the male hormone can cause a woman to be masculine. I don't know what it's like in the US, but in Australia you're almost not allowed to talk about that, but I'm just giving you the science today. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at what the hormones or how they're made. We're going to have a look at how the monthly cycle runs. Notice our sex hormones are made from cholesterol, very important lipid in the body. From cholesterol, the body makes pregnenolone. From pregnenolone, the body makes progesterone. Progesterone is a key hormone because from progesterone, estrogen is made, from progesterone, testosterone is made, and from progesterone, the adrenal hormones are made. We're going to look at the 21-day, or 27-day, I should say, cycle, 27 or 28-day cycle. We're going to look at it like a dance, because it is like a dance. Different players come onto the stage at different times of the month. And estrogen's going to be wearing a red outfit, and estrogen's role is that of a cell proliferator. Cell proliferator basically means causes massive cell growth. And it is estrogen that causes the skinny young girl to develop into a beautiful, shapely woman. But if the estrogen remains high, the beautiful, shapely woman can get out of shape the other way. Progesterone is the other player in our dance of the hormones today. And progesterone is going to be wearing a green outfit. Progesterone's role is that of a happy hormone. It's one of its... There's a few roles, as we'll see, but it's often called the happy hormone because of its ability to raise the mood.